Hey everyone, and welcome back to Pop Off the Clock. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Yoseline. Thanks for joining us. One more week. We are here full of celebrity headlines, and I'm ready to get into it. But
Absolutely. And really quickly, guys, sorry about last week. We had some technical difficulties.
I don't like to talk about this.
We did the whole episode.
No. Like, it was a good episode.
It was. I predicted things.
You predicted things. It was an hour long. We went over the Oscar wins. We went over, I don't even want to know what we went over, but it was a great episode. And then we had some audio issues that we just couldn't save. And you know what? After a long day and an hour and so speaking to y'all, we said, you know what? We're taking this as a
sign. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe we said something that we shouldn't have, and maybe the universe was doing us a solid. So you have us back this week. The audio is good, guys, clearly, because you're watching us right now. But with that, we have, as she said, a lot to go over. As usual, we kind of go over a specific person's podcast.
Yeah.
She always has some pretty good interviews, and this week she had Millie Bobby Brown. We've seen this girl grow up before our eyes, so we're getting to know a little bit about her behind the scenes from the characters we don't see.
Absolutely. And then Hollywood makes it to Texas, and if you know, you've been paying attention, you know that we're located in Texas.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
South by Southwest is here, happened. And we're talking about one of the big premieres that everyone was talking about. And yeah, we're talking about Blake Lively again, guys.
Because she was there. We were questioning whether she would be.
Yeah, and it was so, well, we'll get into it. I'm not even going to get into it.
We're not going to spoil it for you.
New music. We have a good album from a pop diva already out, and then we are anticipating another one.
I'm super excited. Unfortunately, I kept forgetting to actually listen. I was like, let me write a note to self to listen to it so I could review it, but I'll let Yoseline take that one. But really quickly, Yos, how was your last week?
I know. I don't even know what I did, but I know the weekend I had a child's birthday party. Yes, I'm at that age where I go to friends' kids' birthday parties, and
it happens.
Let me just tell you, it was the cutest little thing, Minnie Mouse themed.
Aww.
It was so full of love for baby Catalina, and I thought it was just so cute. And her parents just know how to throw a party. Like, if this was her one, I can only imagine 15, 16, and she is the cutest little doll ever. So it was super cute. And I'm a Disney girl, so of course I was like, yay, Disney. Aside from that, I took the time to catch up on some shows, Survivor. I watched Traitors on the weekend, so I've watched the finale, and that's basically it. Next weekend, I already have another kid's birthday party. It's just that season, guys.
Kid after kid after kid.
How was yours?
It was good. What did I do this weekend? I don't think I did anything. No. Oh, no. Actually, I went to the movies. I went to the movies with my friend Kim. I saw Mikey 17.
Oh, how was that?
It was good. It was interesting, very unique story. I think Robert Pattinson did a really good job. It felt like the beginning, I was kind of like, it was kind of just setting up being out in space and all these things, and it got to like the point at some point. But it was, I would say, worth the watch. Would I go to the movie theaters to watch it again? No, but if it's streaming somewhere, I recommend once it goes streaming to give it a shot. I thought it was an interesting concept. Aside from that, I didn't really do anything. This week, honestly, guys, has felt like the longest week on earth. You on Tuesday were already saying, like, have a good weekend.
Guys, so
but that's been the vibe, honestly.
On Tuesday, I'm ending a newscast, and I usually say, have a good evening. I said, have a good weekend, and it was only Tuesday, and that was just a little tip of the iceberg of how I have felt all week long.
Yeah.
It is spring break, several people out, we're short-staffed, we're just trying to make it to Friday and trying to, regain our grip for next week because I'm ready for Friday.
Absolutely. Yes, Tuesday felt like 2 days in one. Today, I struggled to come to work because I was so tired. I was ready. I was falling asleep when I was driving.
Yeah,
it was the middle of the afternoon
and it's so
90 degrees. Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, why am I so? This week cannot come faster at the end. I'm looking forward to this weekend.
I do have a question, just because some people always ask us about our job. When you make those kind of mistakes, do you just push through it, or what do you do? Like when you say the wrong date?
When I say the wrong date on TV?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really bad because I get so embarrassed. I start to like mess up more. When I'm nervous, I really like it becomes like a ball and it turns into
yeah,
like.
and I think a lot of people don't notice our mistake, but then we do, which makes us like overthink, and then people are like, oh, she's struggling. It's because you guys didn't notice the last mistake, but for this one, the one I said like, have a good weekend, I was just holding in my laughter because it's the last thing I say, and they take a cutaway shot, and I'm just like looking down thinking, I'm like, dude, have a good weekend. Like, what are you talking about?
I didn't realize you said it during the newscast.
Yeah.
I thought you said it like during our editorial meeting.
No.
That's why I was like,
On
oh, it
the
wasn't that
news.
bad. You said on the news?
I said it on the newscast. I said, thanks for tuning in and be sure to watch, tonight. And I would say, have a good evening. And I said, have a good weekend.
And they're like, yo, Selena's ready for the weekend, clearly. And it's a Tuesday.
And it's only Tuesday. But then one time I was watching the Today Show, and Hoda one time said, have a good night, instead of have a good morning. So I said, you know what? Even my girl Hoda makes mistakes, and I just wonder if I hope I made people giggle. And
I'm sure you
confused.
did. See, with those little scripted parts, like the things that we say, like the goodbye and stuff, I feel like it just becomes so like habit, and then when your mindset really isn't there, it's just like kind of like the autopilot where you're just like, oh wow, did I just say that?
Did I just say that on a Tuesday? And I did. But guess what? I'm ready for the weekend, as you could tell.
Yeah, we all are. Now let's get into some headlines.
Absolutely. So let's start with this one that's been lingering around for the last couple of days. Did she or did she not? Hailey Bieber is clearing the air after she was accused of allegedly supporting a disparaging comment about Selena Gomez and her fiance, Benny Blanco. This never happened, Bieber's rep exclusively told Us Weekly in a statement. This entire story has been fabricated by a content creator looking to capitalize off an old, tired narrative. Well, a TikTok user claimed earlier in the week that Bieber reportedly dropped a like on a video poking fun of Gomez and Blanco and their loved up interview magazine profile. And that TikToker has receipts. She has, alleged, I guess, screenshots of her getting the notification of Hailey liking that video. And
so the creator who had the video, she had an interesting kind of comment to say. She said that she got the like within, I don't know how many minutes of the post, but your For You page, obviously it's built to show you the things that you like. And she was like, to see a post like that with you being a celebrity and all the content you get, that just shows what kind of For You page you have potentially.
Yeah.
But so many people were making fun of their interview from, I think it was like a Variety interview. I don't know. But they were alleging that the blue check mark was like off or something, that it wasn't right. I don't know. But yeah, the tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme.
And maybe she accidentally liked it.
I'm sure I would have liked that. I think the interview that they were doing was kind of cringe. So,
you think so?
So, I think it was just kind of like a general I think in general kind of felt, I don't know, it doesn't matter. If she liked it, she liked it. She didn't, she didn't.
But she's doubly down and even came out with a statement. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Moving on, well, in 2021, the CW ordered and shot a live-action Powerpuff Girls pilot starring Chloe Bennett, Dove Cameron, and Yana Peralt and Donald Faison, only for the series to be canceled and never see the light of day until now. Well, footage from the canceled series has been leaked on YouTube and made into a trailer. Sources at CW confirmed to Variety that the footage is real, but a final trailer was never assembled before Powerpuff Girls were axed.
I remember seeing just set photos, and they had like the worst costumes. They just look like you got them at Party City, but the Party City that isn't Party City, like the cheaper version of Party City.
I feel like the idea was there, right? I feel like they were just trying to make it live action cartoon where you just have to take the concept of like a man created superheroes and they're just girls in this time of age, but not play into like
I think it was super.
The piggy tails.
I think they're going for camp. Like a campy Powerpuff Girls. That's why I was like, where are they going with this? Because obviously if you think of the vision of like making it as real as possible, you wouldn't have gone for those outfits.
No.
Like I don't know if they were trying to like make it fun of it. I don't know. I was actually really curious to see what they were gonna do with that, but oh well. I need to look at that footage.
What's meant to be is meant to be. I feel like if this show would have kicked off, Dove Cameron wouldn't be in the situation she is now, where she's like a brunette with music and like an Italian pop star boyfriend. She would have been more.
I just realized he was Italian the other day because I heard him talk and I was like, wow. Wow.
Wow, Dove. Wow. Moving on to the next story, we have Post Malone. He's been seen with a new woman after appearing to break off his engagement. The 29-year-old rapper and singer real's name is Austin Post, is no longer with his fiancée and has since moved on with a new woman named Christy Lee, according to reports.
I saw the photos today, actually. It popped up on Instagram and I was like, wow, interesting.
And that's where we're going to leave it.
That's where we're going to leave it.
So let's move on to happy news. I know that was a heartbreak, but now we have Olivia Cobo and Christian McCaffrey are growing their family. The model and the San Francisco 49ers running back are expecting their first baby together. They share the news in a post on Instagram. Next chapter, motherhood, white heart emoji. Copo wrote along a black and white photo from their maternity shoot.
Is she already showing?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I saw like a paparazzi photo of her like in black and like she already had the bumps. So she's been pregnant obviously
So she was, so they said that at the Super Bowl, she must have been pregnant. That's why she had like an oversized blazer. Some fans said like, oh, we had noticed that her oversized blazer look was just back to back and they kind of like thought it was weird. It is a signature look for her, but not so often. And this is why she was.
Good for them. Within a year, they got married last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I remember us talking about the whole,
and I
like,
mean, that was
thing.
always, I've seen the show, the Colpo sisters, or Colpo sisters. She's super traditional, like, I want to get married, I want to have babies. Like, she was ready to be a mom.
Yeah.
And someone else is pregnant too. Lele Pons and her husband, Guayana, are going to be parents. On Sunday, the Venezuelan influencer turned musician and the Puerto Rican rapper announced in a joint Instagram post that they are having a baby and it's on the way.
Yay, good for her. I really hadn't seen a lot of her posting, so when she posted she was pregnant, I was like, oh, that's cute.
I hadn't seen her in a while. She's very much like OG YouTuber. I didn't know she was now considered turned musician.
I didn't either. I didn't even know she had music. I just noticed she was hanging out with Shakira a lot.
Yeah, she's like in the Hispanic, like Florida, Miami scene.
Okay.
Like Shakira, Gloria Estefan, Emilio Estefan, Pitbull.
Man, I just want to hang out with them. Like,
Cheyenne's her uncle.
Oh, really?
Cheyenne.
Okay, get it, girl.
Yeah, so
Get it.
She's in there. She's up there. But congratulations, she looks super
Yes.
cute, and she's been posting pictures of her telling her friends. Oh, Anita. She asked Anita to be the godmother.
Aw, cute.
So it
Love
was cute. We have some, I guess, refreshing and new take on parenthood from Gigi Hadid. Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik are fully focused on raising their daughter, while the model, who covers Vogue's April issue, opened up about many parts of her life, from motherhood to her career. She commented and gave an inside look to her relationship with Zayn, saying, quote, Zayn and I do our custody schedule months in advance. Hadid told the outlet, that doesn't mean that it doesn't change here and there, but we help each other out and have each other's backs.
That's good to know.
That's good to know.
Especially with, I hope it was in the immediate aftermath of the whole Yolanda and Zayn thing. I wonder like if it was hard for them to kind of work something out, but it's good that they're at a good place now. And she also kind of spoke about Bradley Cooper. I didn't really read it because I honestly don't really care about their relationship.
Oh yeah, it did. It was like, I didn't care. I think this was more, I thought this was more of a rare insight as to their relationship.
And she even said like they don't really like to talk about their relationship at all, but like that they are like, when it comes to us being parents, we're just gonna.
And that kind of sets a precedence when you say like, oh, sources say Zayn hates Gigi because she never lets him, whatever. It's like, no, fool. We're
like we're good. Don't even go there with us. Yeah, good to see that.
Another relationship that might be in question is Lauren Graham with Mae Whitman's. Well, Lauren Graham got loose lips about Mae Whitman's baby daddy. The Gilmore Girl alum identified Carlos Valdez as the father of Whitman's 6-month-old son during her interview on the Armchair Expert podcast.
That would totally be me accidentally saying something.
Because you could just see genuinely she was just talking about May and how much she loves May. And then Zach, right, that's his name, Zach, the host of it, was like, I love her too, but I never get to hang out. And she says, oh, she's now in New York because her baby daddy is starting in Hadestown. And I guess no one really...
She said his name, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Carlos, I just said it, Carlos Valdez. So apparently, we all knew she had a baby. Recently in a Broadway magazine, because he is in Hadestown, he did an interview where he says, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm a new dad, and I like to keep my life private. But no one ever made the connection that they were even together, I assume. And
I mean, they already had the child, and they're good. I don't see what the secret
why,
is. I think they probably just want to have it private.
I see why, not sharing details, but whatever, it's the partner.
I would just be like, oh my gosh, it's
what
fine.
What would you do? I would be like, Lauren, Auntie Lauren.
I would be like, what the?
I don't think, I'd be annoyed, but I wouldn't, you could still.
I wouldn't be upset. No, I would be like, oh well, what, what can you do?
It was gonna come out eventually.
I think I would be kind of upset in the initial, what did you just do? But I'm like, what is it gonna hurt people? I don't know, their personal life, maybe it'll.
But her intent was definitely not malicious at all.
Yeah, absolutely not. I wouldn't have expected. Even when you were telling me, I was like, I'm pretty sure she didn't mean it in a bad way.
She didn't. I know her that well. She didn't.
We know Lorelai.
We know Lorelai would. Lauren would.
Lorelai would.
But now moving on to some couple news, we get a glimpse at Miss Kylie Jenner, who couldn't keep her hands off of Timothée Chalamet while taking in some tennis over the weekend. Per photos obtained by Page Six, the couple put their romance on full display at the BNP Paribas Indian Wells Open in Indian Wells, California. And if you look at those videos, people are like, oh my gosh, she's so annoying, she's over him. She was taking a picture.
They're in love.
They're so in love.
They're super in love.
Of course, my algorithm on TikTok shows me she's finally in love, compared to other previous relationships. And they showed one spot where Travis Scott was nominated for a Grammy. Did you see that
how
one?
They react to how they both react to losing?
Travis lost and he just leaves,
storms off
and leaves her behind. And then when Timothy lost the Oscar, he just reached over for her. And of course, I am like, she's looking.
I'm trying to remember. Was Travis Scott was older than Kylie, right?
Yes, but not by a lot.
See, I feel no, Timothy's my age. She just turned, I think, 30. She's 26. Okay, I was like, I don't know if this is how old is Travis Scott then? I think Travis Scott is older than Timothée Chalamet.
Maybe 31, 32.
Because I was going to say, maybe this is kind of the first time she's publicly been with somebody that's very close to her age. So, it's they are not youthful together. I don't know. I just forget what I said.
He's 33, Travis is. You said Timothy is...
I know Timothy's 30.
She's 27.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty close in age.
Timothy is 29.
Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously, when you're younger, when she was probably in high school, she dated probably people in school. But a relationship like this, I think it's the first time it's been really close. To
they're on the same level.
Yeah, exactly. They're on the same playing field. I mean, the only thing is she's a mother, but still I think they're Gucci.
I think they're good. Another couple, or rumored couple to be exact, we have Michael B. Jordan, who is rumored to have found a new lady love, as the actor was recently spotted at a London cafe with Canadian actress Taylor Russell. A source to Demois reported this sighting, saying, according to the sighting, Jordan and Russell at a London's How Much a Cafe. Taylor Russell was previously linked to Mr. Harry Styles.
This girl's roster. Oh my gosh, Taylor Russell, to be you. No, I've always wondered, after Lori Harvey, I still am curious what happened between Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan, but I'm like, who is Michael B. gonna get next? Taylor Russell, girl? Yes, they're
cute.
Two gorgeous people.
And if they're together, I approve.
Yes.
Well, this girl, I don't think I've ever spoken about her in entertainment headlines, Emily Osment.
Yeah,
So young
for
Sheldon
sure.
and Hannah Montana star Emily Osment is officially ending her marriage after 5 months, according to court documents filed in Los Angeles Superior Court and viewed by USA Today. Osment and Jack Anthony have reached a confidential divorce settlement agreement.
I know a lot of people were talking about this, like, divorce, but I'm just like,
I
what
feel like they were dating
happened?
for a while, so it's like kind of weird that they just.
Like, they got married and then 5 months later got
Yeah.
divorced, but they are, like, keeping their lips shut as to the reason why.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Sus.
Interesting.
Another couple we've been, wondering about is Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Well, they were seen getting into their getaway car after a recent dinner date in Park City, Utah. The lovebirds have been allegedly reconnecting during these getaways. That's according to page 6.
Reconnecting?
Yeah, I tried to read more into it, but it was just a source said that to page 6.
What do they have to reconnect from?
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
look
I
good.
mean, obviously, like, distance from, him doing his job, her doing her job, but I'm like, it's been a while since the Super Bowl. Y'all could just be...
You guys are good. I think it was just.
I think they're fine.
They're fine. You know who's also fine? Neo. Well, Neo is a proud partner to 4 different women, and he's ready to show them off. The singer confirming that he's in a polyamorous relationship. He took to Instagram to introduce every single one of his girls. And that's where we're not going to comment on that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have nothing to
Let's
say
move
to
on
that.
to some movie news that you need to know about. Well, is Charlie XCX about to step through the wardrobe into Narnia? According to Deadline, the British singer is in talks to star in the upcoming Netflix adaptation of the Chronicles of Narnia and is among the top choices to have a key role. The Witch.
Oh, I read somebody else was also up for The Witch, and I was like, I don't know. I love Narnia. When I was a kid, I was obsessed
Me
with that
too.
movie. And then I think, like, now, making it in this day and age with all of the resources they have now, the universe is probably going to be, like, insane. They better make a good cast, because I just don't want, like, people to be there just because it's like, oh, they're there. Like, I want the acting chops.
Do you want named people, like well-known people already, or do you want like fresh, rising stars?
I want well-known people, but for the young, I think for the young cast, it has to be up-and-comers.
Like the brother and the 2 brothers and the 2 sisters?
Yeah, because I just, what people are out there young that you are just, I feel like it's just going to ruin it's better to start fresh with a series like this, because then you're going to catapult their careers into something.
She's going to be the, what is it? The goat? Like half human, half goat.
Oh,
I don't know what they're called. I forgot.
what's his name? James McAvoy.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he was the...
Oh, yeah, he did. That's
was
crazy.
The fawn. Right, was it no, it's a, what is it? When you're a centaur.
Centaur, yeah, you're right. Look at that. Nerdy Brenda coming out. Well, Nerdy Brenda has, I'll let her comment on this one because I like Harry Potter. I've watched the movies. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I never read the books, but I struggle to
understand the frustration.
The frustration.
I'll explain it. I mean, I'm not like a huge Harry Potter person, but first say the headline.
So WB raised eyebrows this week with a new report from Deadline that Papa Esaidu is signing the contract to play Snape in the upcoming HBO Harry Potter series.
All right, so a lot of people are upset because while we love diversity, obviously we're Hispanic people, guys.
Yeah.
We are a fan of diversity, but a lot of people are upset because when they were starting this new project of Harry Potter, it was very much said, like, this is going to be different from the movies that we saw because we are going to try to, like, stick to the book as much as possible. So people are upset because when it comes to Snape, it's hard to cast a black person for the role because Snape is kind of like, he's a Death Eater. He is of the mold of people that don't like mudbloods, like a very much racist group within the Harry Potter universe. So it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna have to restructure race within the Harry Potter universe if you're gonna have one of the people that are probably the most, it's Harry Potter. It's kind of hard to, but in like lamest terms of what we understand, the racist group of the Harry Potter clan is the Death Eaters. Snape is a Death Eater, so what does that mean for diversity and how it's going to be reflected in that group of people? Like, we're going to have to reimagine certain things, and a lot of people are upset because that's straying away from what they said, sticking to the original version of the book.
He's described as a very tall,
lanky,
white,
pale,
big
like,
nose,
yeah,
like
big
hook
nose. This man is gorgeous. He is gorgeous. Imagine Snape being a hot man. You're just like, damn, Snape. No, he's supposed to be somebody you absolutely can't stand.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people are upset. I personally, I'm not super upset. I'm just curious if they're gonna go this route. Then I'm sure it's gonna be similar to the Bridgerton universe, where they mix. They have mixes of race, but they try to adjust the conversation within the world. Whereas I'm curious with this how they're gonna go about adjusting kind of how characters, their mindsets and stuff, and what they're gonna focus on.
So I did see one video with a girl, and she brought up a point where, according to her, a lot of Snape goes through a lot of bullying by Harry Potter's father. And one of the instances that is in the books is that he gets hung by Harry Potter's as a bully.
Yikes.
And it could be very racial driven when you cast someone that
and you're hanging a black man as a kid. No, yeah, that's why it's like, that's why the people are upset, is because how are you going to restructure these conversations?
And I've seen different races agree on this, saying that like they agree that if they wanted to do like a race swap, like Hermione has been played by a black actress on Broadway, that even Dumbledore could have been, Morgan Freeman would have been a great pick, but we'll have to see.
And that's what the thing is. It's like, yes, diversity is needed in movies, but when is it to the point where it's a forced diversity casting? Now, mind you, this guy could have done the most amazing audition, and they're like, we don't see you as anything else. Like, I want to see his performance as it. But yeah, that was one of the examples. And I think there's other just things within the books. It's going to be like, how are we going to change this? Then it's like, you have to change so many other things. So yeah, we'll see how this all goes. But yeah.
We'll have to see how that plays out. There's one thing that I do want to know how it plays out is these rumors that Harry Styles is set to be taking on some tour dates, I guess residency. So a recent article from the New York Post cites sources with knowledge of the talks, saying that the 2023 Album of the Year winner, Harry Styles, could come to Las Vegas Sphere for as many as 35 shows in the second half of 2025. There's also been reports that people are shutting it down. I think it's just too... and it hasn't been really a credible media outlet that has said Harry Styles' manager says no. So I don't know. I am just hoping.
I think that's too soon to be doing it at the half of 2025, because we're already almost to.
What makes me think is that if this is true, is he coming out with an album in the summer?
I don't think so. Well, I think he'll come out with music before he ever does a residency.
Yeah, so this could easily be like starting December, and he comes out with an album in August and be like, I'm going on tour in December.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm doing a residency. I would literally go.
No,
if it's at the Sphere,
sign me up.
I will be there.
I want to see when Harry's House was released.
That was
2022. It's been 3 years. He needs a new album. It's because he toured for like 500 years.
Oh yeah, he was touring for his whole life. We kept mentioning like, once again, Harry's still on tour.
I know.
Yeah, but this man's all over Tokyo and all over the world. He went to go see Sabrina Carpenter in London. I'm just like, does he have time to work on it?
Oh yeah, he was on that marathon race.
Yeah, he was doing a marathon.
That's why maybe he's in shape for his residency. He's getting in shape. How fun.
I would love to run a marathon with you, Harry. If you need a running partner, I've been training, so.
Let's pivot. No. Speaking of Sabrina Carpenter, Miss Sabrina Carpenter, O2 Arena, she took over the O2 Arena over the weekend, where she continued her popular onstage bit that happens right before she performs her frisky hit Juno. During the gimmick, she and her dancers scanned the crowd before arresting a guest for being too hot before handing them a pair of fuzzy pink handcuffs. Well, on Saturday night, the perpetrator was Spice Girls' Emma Bunton, and if you don't know, that's Baby Spice.
Baby Spice.
The fun continued on Sunday night when it was Salma Hayek's turn. And those were, I guess we just hadn't seen, for me, I hadn't seen a lot of things coming out of her tour. I know she was on a break, but even on her last days, like, it was pretty calm.
No, yeah, it was pretty calm, but this one had like, it was jam-packed with a lot of celebrities. I know Jacob Elordi was at that London show. As I mentioned, Harry Styles was there. Guys, I would be, if I was Sabrina and Harry Styles was watching me perform, I don't know what I would do. I would have picked the best position to show off that night.
Okay, would you want to know?
Did you ever try this one?
Would you want to know that Harry Styles is in the crowd before or after the show?
I don't know, because I feel like I would try harder.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would, like, pull out all the stops, dude.
But would you get nervous?
Of course I'd be nervous, but I'm like, I am going to make you want me.
So I think I would want to know afterwards and then be like, I'd love to meet him.
Oh, yeah. I'd be like, no, I would want to know before, so make sure that he's in my room, in my trailer, green room, when I'm done.
Watch he's with his new girlfriend or something.
No.
That's why he was there.
No.
But yeah, good for her. I know that she's about to do a second tour of her U.S.
Yeah, I'm still so sad.
Yeah, we mentioned about, I think, last week's episode that never aired.
I still want to see it. Like, I keep seeing videos, more videos, and I'm like, it just looks like such a fun concert. I feel like she's like kind of similar to Taylor when her ladder shows, you can see once you're into it and you've already gone through all the rhythms, you add different things or you add your own little character. I feel like she's at that point, and I'm like, I need to see Sabrina Carpenter at some point.
You do. Well, some casting news. We have this should have been up there with the Snape one. Stranger Things star Sadie Sink is reportedly joining Tom Holland and Zendaya in the upcoming Spider-Man 4 movie, which is set for a July 2026 release.
They haven't really said who she's going to be.
Is she too young to play a love interest?
I think she's too young to play a love interest. I'm curious if she's going to be like a version of Spider-Man.
Oh.
Like a Spider-Woman.
Do you think she'll be a superhero?
Maybe.
I mean, they are trying to do the new, like, the Young Avengers.
Because I feel like they wouldn't just announce it like this if she wasn't going to have, like, a heavyweight.
No, she has to. I think she's her name carries her for, like, something.
So I think she's going to have a major role in it. Will she play a villain?
I don't think so. Tom Holland and Zendaya are on the verge of, like, okay, like,
yeah, like, we're gonna get out. I think that this might be catapulting her as like the new franchise lead.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I like Sadie Sink.
And wrapping up our quick headlines, that the rising rapper Doechii has earned the title of the Billboard's 2025 Woman of the Year, landing her in the same company as Taylor Swift, SZA, Lady Gaga, and last year's honoree, Karol G.
Oh, last year was Karol G?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Honestly, Billboard, y'all do these things too soon. We have been 3 months into 2025. How do you all know? How do you all know who the person of the year is already? I mean, I think Doechii is having such a great, successful moment. I think she's great. I love her music, so love to see it.
I love to see it. Actually, I was on my Spotify, and DJ X was like, let me put this song on. You've been on a Doechii kick for a while. And I'm like, expose me. But I love her. She's a good one.
Now to some topics.
I'm going to start off with the one we kind of teased about, Hollywood coming to Texas.
Yes.
This weekend, we had South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. And one of the key takeaways was that Another Simple Favor was having its premiere here. Well, of course, there was a lot of little things. Will Blake show up? Will she not? And she obviously showed up because, let me tell you, it was a controlled situation, if anything. However, after the premiere, there were some fans saying that, continuing to to talk about how Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively hate each other. And then the director, Paul, is it
Feig?
Feig, he addressed it on his X account, resharing that tweet and saying this is not true, and then shared like a group selfie picture with everyone together. And I'm like, that says nothing to me. Other key points from that takeaway was when Anna Kendrick was talking to the fans, one fan was like, how is it returning back with Blake Lively or working with Blake Lively? And she said, oh, you know, and then just kept walking.
You already know what it's like to work with Blake.
And then Blake, she walked the red carpet, but she just talked to a couple fans and she like hugged them. Some people were saying that one of the fans that she was like most was Paul's wife. And
then another guy, she takes a picture with him and he is within the group of people that go inside to watch the movie.
It's like those fan clubs, like, you know, they're not gonna like betray you or anything. It's like Yolanda with Selena.
No, yeah, and that's why I'm like, it's staged, like, happiness.
There was
for
no
her.
press. Like, I don't see her do one interview on the red carpet. I know she spoke inside the theater, but I think it was more like, here, speak, like, thank everyone.
I know that they asked Anna Kendrick on the carpet,
I saw that.
sort of a reframing of a question to see what she would say. It was like, are you gonna take the bait or not? Basically, like, now that you've directed a movie, do you go into projects trying to keep in mind trying to still be an actor, or do you go in the mindset of director? And she was just basically like, oh, like joking around, like, oh, I just kind of like to see what they do here and there, but like I obviously like have respect. I think they tried so hard to like ask her the questions.
They also,
but she was
there was
media trained.
Yeah, there was one person that was super direct, saying like, how do you feel about, you know, this movie coming out and all that
the Blake
situation has brought to it? And she just said, I don't even know what she said. I just remember she was like
or something about what situation.
What situation? Bye, and then just like kissed them and said goodbye.
Yeah, I was not really a fan of the outfit Blake was wearing. I love what Anna Kendrick was wearing, and everyone else. But yeah, I mean, this is the first half of South by Southwest. The latter half is the music portion, and they had a number of movie premieres. A lot of celebrities were there.
Asa Gonzalez was there.
Nicole Kidman was there. I was like, man, why did I not go? I always say I need to go because we get press badges. We can get press badges, but I'm like, I never think of it because spring break comes so fast. It's like hard to just think about it. They also had the premiere for that new movie, not Trap, but it has Brandon Skinner, who came out in It Ends With Us. Brandon, the guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming out with a movie with Megan Fahey, and they were there premiering it as well there. She came out in season 2 of White Lotus. So a whole lot of celebrities were in Austin, Texas this week. And maybe I'll catch them next time.
Maybe we'll catch them that next time, but we are catching. What?
Were there any reviews for the movie? A Simple Favor 2?
Okay. I will say, as someone that has sat in the screening at South by, they take the review, like the comments, and then re-edit it a lot of the times. I watched the movie. I forgot what movie it was, and it was like turned out to be completely different.
But you all get to watch the movie. You've been to one of the screening things? Oh, how fun. How is that?
It's really weird.
Oh.
Like it's a small little theater, and then it's like they come out and they just say, the one I went to was a Q&A. It was a movie called Fresno, and it was based on Fresno, which I'm from. Natasha, the redhead Natasha that came out on the Oranges and
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
She was in it. And some really other good actresses.
Let me look up the movie.
Yeah.
Fresno, California. Our girl Yoseline's from Fresno, California.
Let's see. Another Simple Favor.
Fresno movie. Oh, yeah, Natasha Lyonne, Judy Greer, Audrey Plaza. Fred Armstead. Okay, that's a good cast. Were they all there?
Yeah, I actually met Aubrey Plaza.
Did you?
I have a picture with her, but it's so blurry that I never posted it.
Yoseline, when was this?
Oh my God, it was 2014.
2014. 2014. You met
2014.
Audrey Plaza.
And Asa Gonzalez, I saw her at a party. I took a picture with her.
You've met Asa Gonzalez? What is she like? Is she more beautiful in person?
She is so slim, so petite, so little, and she is really pretty in person. Yeah, and she wasn't famous yet. It was right when Dusk to Dawn was about to come out. So she was there with her co-star, the guy that she was like rumored they were dating.
Oh, I was like, wasn't she dating Liam Hemsworth?
No, not
around that time.
No, it wasn't. I would have been like, it was the co-star. They were holding hands, and he was the one like talking to his publicist or whatever, and like to get into this party or I don't even know what it was. And I'm like, oh my God, can I take a picture with you? And she's like, yeah, of course. And like we took a picture while her boyfriend was like dealing with the thing. Yeah.
Yo.
So every once in a while, I still have the picture somewhere. When I get it as a memory, I'll send it to my sisters. I'm like, oh, I'm just hanging out with my friend Issa once again. But
you need to send me that picture.
I do. And then Aubrey Plaza, she was walking.
Like?
She was very like, thanks, like very like that. Aubrey Plaza was a little intimidating because she was just walking down the street and you could tell she was like done with the night because she had a dress on, but she had like a man's blazer on top and she was just like, and then I walked by her. I'm like, I told my sister, I'm like, I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan. So I'm like, that's Aubrey Plaza. I need to take a picture with her. And I'm like, can I take a picture? And she's like, yeah. Awkward as she is. She's like, there you go. And then she just walks away. Yeah. And then I didn't meet him, but I walked by the redhead from Harry Potter. The friend.
Oh, Rupert Grint?
Yeah.
You met Rupert
I didn't meet him. He was just
you
that
just walked
one.
By him?
I walked by a very, like, he was doing like a little red carpet by the Alamo that's on the street of South by, and that's it.
So those are all South by
events.
Where you met them was all at the South
by.
Yes,
everything was South by.
Damn,
that's super cool.
I met Kanye at South by, but we don't talk about that anymore.
So I'm looking at the reviews, and its audience rating is mostly a 1.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
but Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 80%.
I was gonna say I saw something positive out there recently, and I'm like, oh, I guess the reviews went well then from the.
I'm pretty sure it's not that bad. I do like the twist. Like I think Paul
Feig is really good at doing little twists. But okay, I'm still gonna watch it. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not gonna watch it.
I know, we'll watch it. But what we will be listening to is new music.
Yes.
I need you to listen to Lady Gaga's new album is out, Mayhem. I have started it. I will say that I play it and then I get so into work. I have it in my office. I get so like zoned out that I'm not really listening to the lyrics. It's very much Chromatica. Was it Fame Monster? Is that what it's called? I mean, Monster Ball? I don't know. It's very like paparazzi era meets Chromatica era.
See, Lady Gaga. That's what I had heard in an article that was published after it came out. That's what a lot of fans are attributing it to. Oh, the Fame Monster, yeah.
Yeah, Fame Monster. I'm like, that's it.
What do you give it? 1 to 5 rating?
Ooh. I want to say it's like classic Lady Gaga. So I love that, like 4.3 maybe. Okay. Just because it is classic Lady Gaga. And I liked her first single, which was Disease. It was very like Lady Gaga dance. Abracadabra was so catchy. There hasn't been a third one where I know like the Fame Monster, like Dancing in the Dark, Alejandro. It was just so many hits like after hits.
After bop.
I haven't found my third bop, but again, I tune out halfway, so my bop could be track 7 and just haven't focused on it. But that is in my.
It needs a couple more listens from me. I needed to listen to it. I actually wanted to listen to it today, but Spotify had a really good day playlist for me.
Mine did too.
That's why I was like, I really can't pass this one up.
You can't pass this one up. And then we're being told, you're being told that Ariana Grande is coming out with a Eternal Sunshine Deluxe. She came out with some artwork of her kind of being beamed into the sky from an alien. It is set to be released on the 28th of this month.
Yeah. It reminds me very much of that meme where SpongeBob has headphones on and he's being like lifted into the sky. That's what the vibes of her poster are. But somebody pointed out that Ariana had already teased her deluxe album when the original album came out.
Really?
Because remember that picture of like the burnt teddy bear with like the poster. It had 3 albums on there, and the last one was the poster for this image. So it said in 6 months, something about 6 months later, and in 6 months she made the announcement, and I was like, girl,
Easter egg.
girl, these little Easter eggs.
So she's supposed to release also a short film the same day of the release, Brighter Days Ahead, which I'm pretty sure that's going to be the name of a song. It is directed by the director, let me say her name, Christian Beslar, but it also says that it's directed by her too.
I think it's a continuation of We Can't Be Friends when she leaves like the place and like goes on.
Brighter
I think that's
Days
what a lot of
Ahead.
theories on TikTok were saying. Also, like just like the difference in because obviously this album is based kind of not based on, but it's titled after the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And in the movie, Clementine, before she forgets, her hair is red. When she's forgetting, her hair is blue. So when her first half of the album came out, all of it is in red complexion, and then now the color scheme is blue. So that's why they're like, oh, it's like now living in the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. I love it.
I love it. I've never
love
seen
it.
that movie.
You've never seen
I've
Eternal
never
Sunshine
seen-
of the Spotless Mind?
I don't think I could handle it emotionally, mentally.
It's really sad. When you start, when the way it starts, you don't really expect it to go that way, and then you're just like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's
I know what it's about, but I've never
crazy.
seen it, so I
It's a
feel
good
like,
movie.
yeah, but that's great. And then our last headline, we have Millie Bobby Brown. She was on Call Her Daddy. I have not listened to that, but Brenda has, so she'll break
Yeah.
it down for us. Tell us what her key takeaways.
Yeah, so apparently Millie Bobby Brown was a huge Call Her Daddy fan and has been for a long time, so she was really pumped to do this interview. So we're getting some context as to the outfits that we've been seeing her post lately and all the content. So her new movie is based in the 90s. So that's why she was like, when I went into this premiere, when it came to like curating the outfits, she was like, I very much wanted to get 90s staples from different people. Like for her interview, she got pants from Pamela Anderson. Like Pamela Anderson, she went to her, she was like, do you have any, like anything that you had of that time that you don't want? She like gave her a whole rack of clothes, and she's like, I was like trying to pick little pieces here and there that from the era that the movie's based in. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was genuinely confused about where this was headed.
Thought you were trying to be Britney.
Yeah, and then so she kind of goes into the fact that right now she's currently like not a trad wife, but she's very much lives like, she has a farm, she has like 20 animals, like including like a whole farm animal. I think 11 dogs that she was like at one point they would sleep with us on the bed, to the point like Jake was like, yeah, you need to pick one because that's too many dogs. She's like a huge animal lover. Aside from that, she goes into how they met. I believe that they were friends first. And she was like, oh yeah, like me, I would have my mom listen in on like conversations we'd have, and she was like, oh, I really don't know if he likes you or not. Like, I can't tell. So one day she just kind of went for it. They started dating. The first thing they did was went on a road trip with her parents, because they're huge, apparently road trip people. Like they have an RV and everything. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I didn't really know this much about her. She was really close to Noah Schnapp when they were filming, because she was like, everyone else was older than us. She mentioned this one instance where like they teepeed the teacher's like classroom and stuff, and she was like, it's because we were young and we never got to experience that life, so we teepeed like the classroom one day, and all these random things. And she said that she's not a very embarrassed person, that she's very confident and doesn't like feel certain ways about things. And she goes into her wedding and how that was. They had for their first dance a Grease medley thing with all of their friends and stuff, and I was like, that's a lot of work. And then she just kind of just says, you know, of the final things, like, I know people kind of comment about my accent and I look older and all these things, but I'm just like growing up, and I really don't care what people think at the end of the day. And I'm like, I wish I had that kind of like, I don't care. I'm like, I don't care.
Who cares about my accent?
Yeah, who cares? I'm just gonna live my life. Like,
well, good for her.
She's so confident.
I feel like she seems like fun to listen to.
No, yeah, she was, I mean, it's kind of like, no, yeah, seeing her in her element, it was nice. It's nice to get to know the young girl.
I did listen to Monica Lewinsky's interview with Call
How
Her
was
Daddy.
that?
I feel like I didn't learn necessarily a lot of new information. Maybe details, but not information, if that makes sense.
Did she talk about Bill?
Yeah, she refers to him as Bill the whole time, and I'm like,
You mean our president?
yeah. I think it was insightful when it first came out, like, not to the media, but like people found out how she was like taken into a hotel by like, I don't know, I think she said the FBI or some other agency, and they were barely like trying to like get information out of her, and they're like, if you don't cooperate, like you're going to jail kind of thing. And she was like there for hours, and then that her pager kept paging because her mom was like, where are you? And she's like, I have to talk to my mom, like she's gonna report me missing. And then they finally got her there, like got her a phone, and she said that she was on the phone, and it was just like an agent with their finger hovering over like the hang up thing. And I guess I never really like grasped, like she was 23 when this happened. He was 50, I believe. And how, you know, she kind of went through that, and like the world turned on her. And I like that she takes accountability. She's like, I wasn't innocent in this. Like, I did bad things too, but like, he was the adult, right? And then Alex asked her a really good question that kind of threw her off. She's like, in your, you know, point of view, what would have been the best way to handle? And she's like, obviously I could say like, find a way to just like not throw me under the bus and just like step away from the office and, you know, go quietly. But at the end of the day, like I would be naive to be like, that's the president of the United States. Like it's a bigger institution that they needed to protect. So I really don't know the answer to that. And it was just very insightful of how she really, as a woman, has been like up and down, like to a point where she couldn't get a job. Like her name, you couldn't. There was a point where people were like, you should change your name. And then she's like, even though I know it sounds ridiculous, like no one ever told him to change his name. Like, obviously he's a president, but if it was a minor, like, less public situation, the man would have never have to change his name. And then she kind of semi-glazes over the fact that I believe she, like, she posed for Playboy or some kind of, like, men's magazine.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, I couldn't get a job. Like, that was my only option. Like, people criticized me for the things I did, but never, like,
thought why I did
it, or thought about what I had turned down. So I thought it was, you know, I think her story is very much like, really much like reclaim your narrative, even though if you did something bad, like you need to push through, because at that point she said that there was like a study or survey that came out, and she was like one of Jay Leno's like most talked about punchlines in his whole career. She was like number 7 out of 10, and all of them were like elected officials or like public. She was like the only. She's like the most. I was like a punching, like a joke to men. To women, it was like the hardest critics. Like they would call her, like obviously.
Oh yeah.
I can only imagine.
I mean, imagine if that whole situation would have happened in this day and age. It would have been a very different situation.
It would have been. I don't think it would have taken that long to figure out. I don't know. I always say like.
I think it still would have been a battle, but I think a lot of people would have been on her side in this day and age. Like they would have forced him to
She said that like obviously times have changed, and she's like, at least there's like, I don't think she's like the situation would have been completely the best, right? I feel like if it were to happen again, that person would still be like shamed for what they did, the girl. But at least there's now terms and understanding that it's abuse of power.
Yeah.
And she said that sometimes abuse of power doesn't mean what you think. She's like, obviously in my situation, it was like the title he held and like the age difference, but abuse of power could be in any way. And she kind of addressed that it is important that now as a society we know what abuse of power could look like, because back in the day they wouldn't even call it that. So her take was interesting. It wasn't
Look
such
at Alex Cooper, the range of this girl,
I know.
going from like Monica Lewinsky to like Millie Bobby Brown.
I do think that she never, I would have asked, I don't know if it was just off the table, about like, have you ever spoken to Hillary? What was your take on her staying with him and backing him up? I would have loved to know that.
I'm sure they probably took that one off. I feel like that's a natural thing to want to ask.
Yeah.
So I think they might have taken that off
and
the
then
table.
my third question would be like, when Hillary ran for president, was there a fear of like, oh, here comes everything back up?
Yeah.
Because, you know.
I don't think she would have thought of that one. I think the other one, I think it was probably like, yeah, I really don't want to talk about that because then I don't want them to think that they can
come at, or like, opening a door that I don't think she's ever spoken about her. But yeah, those were a recap, or not a recap, I'm sorry, headlines. But now we're gonna move, finally, the end of Traitors. We're recapping the season finale.
Sad.
And it was a good one. It was risky.
It was risky. So I had called it last time, but somebody had told me, oh yeah, it was Chloe that said, season 2, the Faithfuls won, and I forgot about that. But it was like less faithful, so that's why I think I forgot about the fact that CT and Chriselle were.
Season 2 Faithfuls won, but it was in a way of them.
It was such a bad way.
It was because they ended up eliminating a faithful without. I don't know. I think
they knew that she was faithful.
She was a faithful.
But this time around, 4 faithfuls made it through, guys. But we started this episode on that cliffhanger from the previous one where we were going to see if Brittany was going to vote out Danielle or not. Spoiler, I think everybody knew from her facial reaction. She did vote for Brittany. Danielle she was mad. She was mad.
She was.
She's like, I'm betrayed again by you. Honestly, Danielle, you were a terrible traitor. Like, I would have called her out from the beginning.
She was, but yeah, she very much, I think it gave it away, her reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Because what Dylan said, like she said nice things about everyone except for her because she felt betrayed. As a traitor, the only way you can feel betrayed is if a traitor betrays you.
And that's all the traitors were doing this season. They were just like jabbing each other. And so then they go into this final day and they have to vote somebody out again. Brittany is very much on the warpath to get Gabby out. But that doesn't work in her favor because I don't know what she does within I don't know what the last challenge was or anything, but she does something to where people are like, nah, I think that you're the traitor for sure.
The seer part, right? Oh no, was that Danielle? I don't know. The seer part was a very interesting thing.
It was with her and Gabby.
I thought she gave herself away after the seer part, and she says, you know, Gabby is chosen, and she reveals like, oh, Gabby's a faithful. And then when they're in breakfast, they're like, Gabby's a faithful, and Gabby's like, oh, like, thank you so much for being honest. And she said, yeah, I didn't want to like make up some elaborate lie. If you're a faithful, why would you need to make up a lie?
Yeah.
You would just like, no, as a faithful, why wouldn't I want to know people? I think that gave her away. Like, it would only be a traitor who would need to make up some elaborate lie to get her way, unless they already know who is a traitor and who's a faithful, but they're just trying to now decide, like, who you want to share the money with.
Yeah. Ira was out there just catching strays, man. He was never going to get eliminated, ever, because people just forgot that he was there. He got really lucky to get to the end of that.
Dolores, too.
Dolores was like, yeah, also just kind of there a lot of the times. She finally voted for someone other than Ivor and Tom Sandoval, because Tom was gone. She voted for Brittany. They ended up voting Brittany out. But in this twist that they did, Brittany didn't reveal if she was a faithful or a traitor, because they go to the final like tossing of the thing to decide if they want to keep going until they eliminate all the traitors, or if they want to just go with the group. I thought that Dolores was gonna keep going.
I thought so too, because she was so off on her game and so paranoid, and she just wanted to like prove something. But I'm glad she didn't. Eventually, all 4 put the green bag, and they are splitting the money. I think
all $5 that they get.
$5. The reunion was interesting. I think one part that really stood out was the editing where it says like, Brittany, you said Dolores like looked at you kind of like, let's turn on Danielle, and then Dolores like, you made that up, and she's like, did you watch the show?
No, literally. Yeah. Dolores was like Dolores, I don't know. It was just I'm so happy that Gabby and Dylan won because I think that they really carried the show and I think that they did a good job.
Yeah.
But Dolores and Ivor were literally just there.
Like, Dylan was literally hunting traitors and Gabby was just entertaining us.
Exactly. And they even said, because they've been doing a lot of press after the whole Traitors win, they were on Watch What Happens Live. And I believe it was asked, like, did you all want to keep taking out traitors? And they're like, we discussed it if we wanted to, like, because she was like, he and I were like, we want to end the show together. But with everyone else, we're like, do we want to keep going? And they're like, you know what, let's just split it 4 ways.
The
like,
$5.
why not?
So it turned, I think they're only getting like 20 grand.
I think Gabby did an interview on her way to LAX or something saying like, NBC, I want to see my money or something like that. I don't know if they've paid them yet or not, but.
Have you not seen her other stuff?
No.
Where she's like, in every interview on Jimmy Fallon, she's like,
No.
I haven't been paid, like, where's my money? And then on Watch What Happens Live, they're each supposed to, it was her and Dylan. And they say, what's the rose and what's the thorn of your experience? And she said, well, my rose is me winning, but I haven't gotten my money, like Peacock, NBC, Bravo, where's my money? And then they say, okay, we're gonna get you paid. Andy says that. And he's like, what's your thorn? And she's like, not receiving my money. Where's my money?
I thought they would have gotten paid at this point.
Yeah,
That's why she got married.
Yeah, but no, they haven't. And everyone just giggles, but I don't think
I don't think she's joking.
Oh, someone has said, would you do the All-Star? She's like, not if they don't pay me.
Literally. I'm curious, like, when do they pay the people, like, once the show's already aired to, like, see, like, oh, let's just make sure that the airing goes well.
Because I'm pretty sure if
nothing problematic.
An NDA that you might have
ruined
in the process of it airing, I'm pretty sure they're like, well, we're taking
a percentage.
Yeah. But yeah, great ending to the Traitors.
Yeah, interesting season.
A great season. That season 4 has a lot to live up to.
I just like, they're obviously going to make a new rule change or do something new because the Traitors, they were trading too much this season.
They were trading too much.
But yeah, that's it for us, guys. We're wrapping it up, I think kind of early, or actually not early, but
like 5 minutes difference probably. But yeah, that's another week of entertainment headlines for you. Just be sure to follow us on Instagram. Just look up Pop Off the Clock. You could also find us on YouTube by searching KGNS News. Our Pop Off the Clock playlist is within that profile. And then you'll find all our links and stuff on the Instagram. All right, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.